What is up, y'all? Appreciate you guys checking out this video. Hope you guys had a great trading week. Sorry about this video coming out on Saturday. I know I usually post on Friday, but I've had some other obligations and wasn't able to record this until today. We're gonna go straight into the charts today, and I'm gonna show you guys two of my best trades I took this week on USD/JPY and why I entered them, how I got into them, what made me want to enter, all that good stuff. If you guys watch my videos, you guys know kind of how I break these down. But I would really appreciate you guys giving a thumbs up if you guys do get any value out of this video, if you enjoy it, and comment any feedback, suggestions you guys might have about the video, maybe the style of video, what type of videos you guys might want to see. If you had any questions, you didn't understand something I broke down, whatever it may be, any advice, I appreciate every single comment and every single like that you guys give me. Appreciate it a lot. So let's go ahead and get into this trade. This is USD/JPY on the 5-minute time frame. So this was on Wednesday this week. So we were trading, we were kind of in this downtrend, honestly, trading below the 200, and then we slowly started trading above the 200. We started moving up, we came back down, we moved up right here on Wednesday morning, we started pushing up, and we started breaking some 5-minute structure to the upside, creating these demand zones. So the one I actually took it off of was right here. So we had a break of structure right here. I marked this higher low, or lower high, excuse me, because we were kind of coming down. So this lower high, then we broke this with this wick while creating this demand zone, breaking this 5-minute structure. Now this is not a major break of structure by any means, but we were in an uptrend on the higher time frames, starting to really push up. So once we broke this 5-minute structure, I was confident that if we came back into this demand zone, that we would shoot out of it and I would catch a nice trade. So we came up here, we wicked in, flew right back out of it, and I did not enter on that initial wick because it moved back out so fast. Now these are 5-minute candles. I maybe could have caught an entry like on the 1-minute time frame or something like that, but I don't like really trading the 1 minute, so I really just trade the 5-minute, 15-minute, 1 hour depending on, but I was trading the 5-minute this day and had this demand zone. So it came up again, like I said, broke this structure, came right back into this demand zone. It flew up. I didn't take it on that first entry, and I ended up taking it on this one actually, and I took it about right here when it came back and started rejecting it again. There's even a tiny tap there, but I didn't really count that one. And the reason that I was confident in taking this trade, not only from the 5-minute break of structure, not only because we were trading above the 200 moving average, a clean demand zone here, but also because that was 1, 2, 3 touches and immediately rejecting out of the demand zone. Now that is a really good sign, and usually I don't like trading it once it's tapped 2, 3, 4, like the multiple taps of a certain zone. I like taking it on the first tap usually and taking a break of candle entry, but obviously this is a aggressive entry. But as you can see, I'm reading candlestick patterns. You guys, as you spend time in the market, you'll understand how to read the candlesticks and read where volume is going. So it would come back in this demand zone, fly out, barely tap in, fly out, come back in, immediately reject. So I got in right there, and this was about a 14 pip stop loss, and I ended up taking it to 22 pips right here for like a 1 to 1 point, almost 1.6. That's where I got out of most of my position and held the rest for a 1 to 2, which would have been right at around 30 pips, right at this high as well, which I like that area to get out of. And it went up a little bit more, let's see, I took it out at 30 pips. It went up to about 40. So it went up, could have caught another maybe 10 pips on my runner, but I'm completely fine with that. It ended up going back down. So I was content with taking the initial, 1 to 1.5, 1 to 1.6, and then taking the 1 to 2 for the runner. You guys know how I trade. I like to take, usually I'm looking for that 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, but as soon as we started seeing a little bit of rejections here, that's why I took out initially. So it was still above a 1 to 1, so I took out the 1 to 1.6, and then I like to leave a runner, which ideally you want to just keep leaving until it just flies up. 1 to 3, 1 to 5 is what I really like. but I knew with how the markets have been running lately, how they've been reading, it just was not playing out that well. And as you noticed, there actually was, if I delete this, there was another demand zone created right here that it tapped into all the way back here, but it just broke through it and broke down from that initial demand zone. So I'm glad I didn't wait for that one and take that one, because I could have gotten in here and it wouldn't even have played out. And that's later in the day at noon, which is lunchtime. And the lunch hours, after around 10, maybe 11, I don't like to trade anymore. And I'm in Central Time. I don't like to trade anymore after that, just because the lunch hours, you will have, there's a lot of fake outs just like this. If this happened at like anywhere from 6:30 in the morning to like 9:30, I would have taken this demand zone all day. But since it was later in the day at lunchtime, boom, we fly through, would have been a straight L. So glad I did not take that one. But that was the first trade I took on UJ this week. Now let me go to the next trade, which was on Thursday, which this one was an actual banger. It ripped, and I wish I would have held because it flew up like 100 pips, but it's all good. So this is the 5-minute time frame. This was actually a 1-hour demand zone. So there's something that I wanted to mention here. It was this one. So there's a demand zone right here with this bullish engulfing right here. It barely broke over this structure. It tapped into this demand zone, but then immediately rejected and kept going lower. So that was not my full trade. My trade was not on that 5-minute demand zone. So I was like, you know what? We're still bullish on the higher time frames. Let me look at the higher time frames. And now I'm probably gonna have to refine this trade. Here it is right here. And it broke through that one on the 15-minute as well. And there was a little 15-minute one right here. So I'm like, you know what? Let me check the even higher time frame, 1 hour. As you can see, I'm gonna move over to it. This was a big 1-hour demand zone right here. Beautiful 1-hour demand zone, and I kept noticing it again, like the 5-minute time frame, it going in, rejecting, going in, rejecting. So I kept that in mind and drew this big zone on the 1-hour time frame, but I knew I didn't want to have that big of a stop, right? I didn't want a 30 pip stop. I don't like trading stops that big, and I believe my stop was around there. So back to the 5-minute time frame, which is where I actually took my entry on. I noticed, and this was also news was coming out this day as well. So I noticed it coming down, still trading above the 200. It wicked down, flew back up, and then this bullish engulfing. Once this bullish engulfing broke this bearish candle, I got in. So I got in right there, and I had my stops just below, just in case it was news and it was just gonna fake me out and then fly back down. I was gonna get stopped at 13 pips instead of all the way down here at like 30 pips. So I had my stops right underneath here. Again, knowing that this was a huge 1-hour demand zone, I'm super confident in higher time frame zones playing out. 1 hour, 4 hour demand zones, especially if it's going with the trend, which this one obviously was. So we flew up. I got in right here. Boom, flew up. I took out at 30 pips, which was a 1 to 2, and I was just done because it was news. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna chill for the rest of the week and be done. I won't even have to trade Friday. And you know, these situations happen where it's unfortunate if you could have held, and in hindsight, I probably should have held a runner. And right now, that trade would be up literally 170 pips, which is just like this. 170 pips is the same amount I caught on UJ last week, which if you guys haven't checked out that video, was my last video on the channel. Caught 170 pips on a higher time frame demand zone, believe it or not. So same thing would have played out again, but I didn't want to hold this long. I was content with my 1 to 2, and it's okay to be content with your 1 to 2, 1 to 3 risk to reward for whatever day you're trading, and just be done. I had work, so I will get off the charts and go to work. Could have left the runner, but I didn't. That's okay. That's still something that I'm working on, is figuring out which trades are the best to leave runners on, which ones aren't. But again, 1 to 2, 30 pips, I'm completely content with catching that, and I'm pretty sure all you guys would be too. So now we'll go ahead and get off these charts and go into the update on the challenge. I know you guys might be curious, how's my 10K challenge going? Let's just say I made a fatal mistake, and it's honestly one that's like, I just gotta laugh at myself at this point. It is what it is. I've failed challenges before. I've passed certain phases of challenges. It is what it is. But stay tuned, and I will explain what happened and how I plan to move forward in a second. Alright, so let's get into what happened on my 10K challenge, right? So, of course, I do not like coming to y'all bearing bad news, but this is my reality right now, and it is what it is. So, I was up 3% on this 10K challenge I've been taking. If you guys aren't watching, or if you guys aren't subscribers of mine and you guys haven't watched my previous videos where I mentioned that I was taking a 10K challenge, not because I want to or plan on making a bunch of money off of it, but because I wanted to see if I could stick to my trading plan and, see how my trading psychology was, see if I could pass this challenge, right? If you guys don't know, I've traded personal accounts. I've traded an account from $950 to $10,000 in 7 days, so about a week, and then lost it all. So you guys know that I know that I can do this, but I wanted to test my psychology on a small challenge before taking another bigger challenge. So some unfortunate news. I was up 3% on this 10K challenge with the funded trader, TFT. And so far, I really like the funded trader. I like, everything about the business. I like that the CEO is public, and I like everything about it so far. Spreads are good, commissions are good, and I believe they're continuously improving on that as well. But so I was up 3% on this 10K challenge. I still had like 2 weeks left on it, right? And I was about to go into a meeting at work, and I saw this trade, and so I took the trade without realizing that I took it on a much higher lot size than I should have, about 4 times as big as I should have, and I didn't realize it. So I took the trade and went on to my meeting. Went to go check my challenge afterwards, and I was like, that's definitely below the daily loss limit. So I lost the 10K challenge, unfortunately, due to just a dumb mistake, honestly. And you know what? I'm not even, I was down about it for about 10 minutes, and then I was like, you know what? It's pretty much laughable, that I failed this challenge off of, a mistake like that, literally just putting on the wrong lot size, and then having stop loss get hit, losing the challenge on the daily loss limit, not the overall limit, but the daily loss limit, because I had lost a trade earlier that morning. So it is what it is. I'm on to the next one already. So I decided, I was up 3%, and I was really confident that I was going to pass if I didn't make this really dumb mistake. So obviously I'm not going to be entering trades right before any work meetings now. I know that was probably really dumb to begin with, but I am now taking a 50K challenge with the funded trader, and I'm confident I'm going to pass this one. I'm going to stick to my rules. As long as I don't make any dumb mistakes like that, I'm pretty confident that I can pass. I'm confident in my strategy that I can pass this challenge. So stay tuned and subscribe if you guys want to continue seeing how I do on that challenge. And again, like all my other ones, I'm going to be completely transparent on anything that happens, anything, if I pass, if I fail, how the trades are going, and I'll show you guys, my trades of the week like I did today for the previous week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys got some value out of it. I really enjoy, making these video guys, making content, and I know I'm not have the coolest edits and stuff like that, but it's cool to connect with you guys. And anyone, again, who likes the video, comments, I appreciate you guys so much. If you follow me on Instagram, if you shoot me a DM, I always try and answer everybody. Or if you're just engaging on there, I really appreciate you guys. I'm going to make it in this industry, and I'm just glad that some of you guys are along for the ride. So appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Y'all have a good one.